Well, we're getting through things at the camp here very slowly, sort of whittling away at stuff, and it's an absolutely miserable day out there. Raccoons ripped out my lights again. But, got a lot of rain, kind of dreary and lousy, so good time to figure out this furnace. It's actually almost cool enough that we could use it. But basically, this is the AC wiring manual I found, and I found the pin out. And then in the furnace manual, I found the pin out, and then I made my own to link the two on what they should be. And this is why. This is the same area that I found problems with the hot water heater, 110 volt. And these are the furnace wires coming down from the AC unit. You can see they're not hooked to anything. And this is hooked up to one. And this, I can't tell whether somebody ripped it out or whether mice chewed it. It kind of looks like it could be either. But this should be easy enough to fix. The wires are right here and in one piece, mostly. Hardly long enough, but I think we can recover them. And I think we just need to hook them up, and we'll see what happens. And then we'll go from there and see whether there's more problems. But pretty chewed up here. That's, yeah, easy enough though. Let's fix it up. I bring all these totes of goodies from home. We'll get into the Marettes again. Saw those in a previous video. And yeah, should be all set. Well, as with most jobs, it tends to morph into more than what it appears. So I got the wiring fixed, and the furnace even fired up for a minute. But what actually happened is the breaker tripped, or not, the fuse blew, I should say, 15 amp fuse. The fridge wiring is paired up with it, and I can't explain what happened because now everything is working just fine. And, well, it won't light. I have fan blowing. It's responding to the thermostat up there, no problem. So now we get to tear into here. What I've done, let me just show you. What I did is, again, these manuals are pretty handy. What I suspect is the limit switch is tripped because the furnace works in all respects. And I think what happened when the fuse blew, the burner was hot. The thing was running, and it probably tripped the limit switch. The only way to find it, like, it's in the wiring schematics, but it's here on the back of the burner box. And from what I can tell, that should be right behind this panel. Fingers crossed. Okay, we're in. Here's our hot water heater. Here's the back side of our furnace. Cross your fingers for me that we find a limit switch back here. And that it's tripped and not some other major damage that we can't deal with today. Woohoo! We have a limit switch. Okie dokie. Now, is it our problem? Only one limit switch. Interesting. I thought there was two. Oh, what are the odds here? This looks like it should be self-resetting, so I'm not too excited here. Yeah, she's fine. Damn. Interesting. Well, I think there is another one. Crumbs. That sucks. Interesting. Let's see. Maybe there's... I don't know. A silly thought occurred to me. I had the access covers off, and that is right into the plenum chamber, same as here. I'm willing to bet, well, I'm not really into betting anymore today, but this sail switch, they call it in both these, normally open. I bet you that's a pressure switch for the plenum chamber to tell that the fan's on. I bet you. What do you want to bet? This might just work now. And it was, I had it fixed all along. We'll see. Let's see. We got fan. Temperature's up. We'll give her a few minutes and see if we get ignition. Alrighty, Mighty Casey's down to his last at-bat here. Well, with that working, I swear I can hear the ignition over that loud fan last round. So what I did is I went outside and I used my air compressor and blew through the exhaust pipes, the inlet and the outlet, and back flushed it and got a bunch of soot and crud out of there. So what I'm hoping is something was across the ignition or whatever, slightly blocking the orifice. We'll see. Alright, well, Mighty Casey struck out. So, time to get medieval on it. So, I found, it looks like a single screw in the center holds this, and the entire furnace and burner assembly slides out. Question is, will it clear the cabinet? Will I be that lucky? I bet you I'm going to get all the gas disconnected and it's going to hit. But I got to try. So I've shut the gas off to the trailer. I vented the gas out using the stove up above. There's no fuel left in the lines. I have enough. I'm hoping I can just slide this out far enough to get at the ignition circuit. What it acts like the gas nozzle is clogged. I can hear the ignition now. I'm pretty sure of it. It's really hard to hear with the fan, but we're going to give it a try. And what we have to do is disconnect our gas. I don't think we can bring, well, there might be enough slack. Maybe we can leave it. I'm going to wrestle around with this and see what happens. All right, she kicked and she screamed, and I had to undo all the work I had done this morning wiring it back up. And this is where we ended up. We have a furnace out on the floor. Now, it's going to be a little tricky to hot test everything dead here, but I have a theory. I don't know whether it's, well, we're going to take it apart and find out. We'll try and be careful with the gasketing. Oh, geez, this is going to be hard. Okay, well, I'm going to get in there and see. This is, oh, I wonder if that happened just now. That's not good. That's not good at all. Our casing is split on our plenum. That looks like a fresh break. I was pretty gentle taking it out, but there's a split right there. It's nothing. I have some 2-part epoxy and we can seal that back up, but it's not ideal to have that leaking. But here's our pressure switch, or what they call a sail switch. We can check that easy enough. Oh, That's why they call it a sail switch. It's just a micro switch. It's not like a normal hot water heater or furnace switch. It's just the micro switch just out in the air. So it just operates like a sail. There's no vacuum switch. It's just a micro switch, but well, that's cool. That means that's super easy to test. We'll just ohm that out and see what it is. Okay, we're back. Holy smokes. I'm in now, so I've got my gas disconnected, this top plate into the burner chamber, and we're in. Here is our main jet, our main orifice. I can't tell whether that's clogged. I really hope it is, but we'll pop it out and find out. Into our burner chamber, sure enough, there's some gunkies in there. There's a nice bug and some rust. And our horn, and there's our electrode, and I could hear it arcing. Now, can't guarantee that it was arcing in the right place, but we're gonna hope so. What we'll do is we'll take this and blow it all out, clean it all out, and cross our fingers. But I'm gonna pop that jet out of there. And our jet is just fine. It is clear, and our pipe is clear. Ooh, I really hope this isn't a solenoid problem sticking now. What I did before I took this apart, I shut the gas off and ran my compressed air a little bit on the inlet to the gas. What we'll try and do, I don't have an easy way to power these solenoids here. What we can do is we can just try and back flush it as best we can with the air compressor. And that should, hopefully, if we're gentle, should unseat the solenoids without damaging them. And yeah, we'll cross our fingers. I'll move that. I'm going to check the book and see what that electrode spacing is supposed to be. That looks a little wide to me. I'm not sure that that's where it's supposed to be, but I think it's probably right. And everything else should be in place, but yeah, we'll see what we see. That's all we can do, and put it back together and cross our fingers. It occurred to me I didn't explain things very well. For those not familiar, this is just a spark ignition. There's a high voltage transformer, little wee one back there, with a spark plug HV wire, almost similar to what you have in a car, except a little smaller. And this electrode down here sparks to the burner case, just to ground to ignite the burner. What I've started doing is, oop, I'm dropping crap. Heard something go kerchunk. Don't drop stuff in the burner chamber, especially broken pieces of plenum from back here. What I've done is I've just taken some, this stuff's Scotch-Brite cloth, and started just dress that electrode a little bit. Give it a good chance of ignition, make sure there isn't a really high resistance coating on it. The oxides can, like, I don't know for sure whether the oxides could affect the ignition that much, but they could. What you could have happen is if this gap is too wide and the resistance is too high, if there's somewhere else in the ignition system that's an easier path to ground, well, the electrons will take it. And that gap was really wide, in my opinion. It's supposed to be 0.125, according to the book. And it's supposed to be right in the center and right by where those holes start. So we're bang on, pretty much, except the height was a little, what I would consider, too far. So that should be a little better. I think that should be pretty good. It could be a little closer yet. Just gonna look. See our high voltage wire, our tension wire, high tension wire is kind of folded back on itself around the electrode there. That's a little better. Pulled it out so it isn't up against our insulator here. That should be more like what it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think we're going to be in good shape. I'm just going to make sure this is blown out. I did try feeding some air back through, and it is able to unseat the solenoids just with a really low pressure, because the propane's a pretty low pressure system. And I got it to back flush. I don't know whether anything came out of it or not. It's impossible to say, but it's all we can do is just keep trying. And also what I found down there, ant traps inside the furnace chamber, and that's not a good place for them. Those look new. I know I didn't put them in there unless a mouse dragged them in there. I did have a mouse in here that I got the other day, so don't know, but good thing to get them out of there. They don't need to be there right close to the burner chamber. That's bad news. So I think we're at the stage now. I've checked this sail switch. The micro switch is working and it moves nice and easy, so I think we're okay there. I know the fan's working and blows air, so ohming across is good. The board, I pulled out the ignition board. I am hearing spark. I can't guarantee the solenoids are opening, but I don't see anything obvious. There's nothing burnt or anything. So what I'll do is I'll seal up this plenum, put everything else back together, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Aluminum taped up our little crack there. It's nothing dangerous. It's just on the air inlet side, so no big deal, and it's sealed up real nice. That's what aluminum tape is for. So yeah, that worked out just beautiful. Looks good. So cross your fingers if you're into that kind of thing. We can't easily bench test this, and they don't offer a good design to allow us to back probe things once it's in there. It's kind of meant to be just changed as a unit. I don't think people get into fixing them too much. Probably not worth it at the dealers or anything. They probably just swap them out. But for us here, we're gonna fix it. Oh, it's back in. I leak checked that line, purged the gas out, started the fridge again, and lo and behold, it's lit. That's hot air coming out. That smells like a furnace that hasn't been run in a while. I can smell the stuff burning off that I dislodged. So 90 on there, so that's full tilt boogie. Everything is tickety-boo in here. No fires. And we're lit. It lit right away. I only heard the ignition. Again, it's really faint, so I only heard it for a couple of seconds, so I think we hit it. Oh yeah, that's hot now. I can smell it. Well, we made one hell of a mess, but we win. The budget camper build stays on budget with $0 to fix the furnace. I am super happy about that. So now we have air conditioner, we have furnace, we have hot water heat we fixed, both sides, gas and 110, and we're coming along. This is great. I trashed the damn place, everything falling all over the place, dishes in the sink, but now we just gotta put everything back together. I'm gonna let this run for a while. This is gonna suck because it's gonna get hot in here, but I don't want to shut it down just yet. I want to, in case I blew something back through that gas line, I blew it out as best I could, but in case it was on the upstream side of the solenoid, if it's something like corrosion that can be broken up, the longer I leave that gas flow, the better. And I also want to watch for fire and leaks and stuff, and this thing needs to be run under good supervision for a little while, and I need to clean my damn gas sensors. Ooh, yeah. Tasty tip. Ugh. This is the bedroom. Ooh, that's getting hot back here. Here's a little CO detector, CO and smoke. These are the ones I use around my 3D printers. Really cheap from China, and they work. I've tested them. If I hit that with some butane, it'll go off. It seems to trick it on the CO, but yeah, I think we're good, guys. What do you think? Hope that was worth it. I know that was long and drawn out, and bit by bit we made it through. That's the troubleshooting. Like, we could have just wheeled it out, and crossed our fingers, but I had a pretty good idea what I was chasing by the time we got in there. We knew we were into the burner circuit likely, or that sail switch, but I checked it when we were out. I was going to actually run another set of wires out for that so I could debug that out here, because it's under the backside. At last minute I decided to just take a Hail Mary on this, and if it was going to be valving or whatever, I was just going to end up getting a furnace and swapping stuff. So we're there. Cheers guys, hope this helps somebody. Have a great one.